You need to set 3 environment variables. This is so you can execute the various utilities from the command line, and so the utilities can find things when they run. The first one is J2EE home. This environment variable needs to be defined as the name of the directory that you selected or allowed to default for the installation of J2EE. The default directory is Sun App Server, but you could have installed it anywhere. This is the format of a name on the Windows system. On a Unix system, the path name would be without the letter and with forward slashes. The second environment variable is named Java Home. It's set to the root directory of the Java SDK installation. If you installed it separately, it will be in a directory of its own, something like this. I don't know exactly what the directory name is because different versions of Java have different directory names, and you can change the name when you install it. But remember, this environment variable does not point to the bin directory. It points to the root directory of the Java installation. You may have installed Java as part of the J2EE installation, so you would set it to the path of the JDK inside the J2EE directory. You could use the J2EE home setting for that and set it this way. That's how you would do it on Windows. On Unix, it depends on what shell you're using, but with a default born or born-again shell, it would look like this. Now, there is only one more environment variable you need to set. Whenever you enter something on the command line interpreter looks for a program by that name. It loads the list of directories named in the path variable and looks through them for a program by the name that you entered. If it finds one, it runs it. If it doesn't find one, it displays a message to that effect and then quits. On Unix, the message simply is not found or command not found. On Windows, it prints a couple of lines of stuff, something like the command was not recognized as internal or external command or as an operable batch file. It's a verbose way of saying not found. If the directory of the Java executables and the J2EE executables is included as part of the path, then they'll be found when you try to run them. On Windows, you could set the path from the command line like this. The path is a list of directory names separated by semicolons. This example sets the path to include the bin directory of Java Home, then a semicolon, then the bin directory of J2EE Home, then a semicolon, then the original contents of the path variable. The process of actually setting a path is quite simple. On a Unix system, you edit the profile in either your home directory or in the system-wide etc directory and add a line like the following. Of course, it's probably already exported and you only need to export it once. Notice the use of forward slashes and that colons are used to separate the names. Setting the path on a Windows system is done with a built-in editor. First, you go to the environment window like this. As you can see, I've already added Java Home and J2EE Home. The path variable should be already set in your system. You can edit it by selecting this way. You can see here where I added the 2 new entries separated by semicolons. This is a tiny edit window and you have to work with it carefully to not erase anything that's already defined as part of the path. But you can add the 2 new entries easily enough. I put mine at the end of the existing path list, but you can put them at the beginning if you prefer. The only problem with adding them at the end is that the search will always look there last, and there is often a file named java.exe in the Windows System 32 directory, and that needs to be deleted so the right one will run.